Guido here from Block Builders, and we want to talk about the different fees on BitMEX today, and I will explain to you what kind of fees you have to pay and how funding works. So the most traded contract on BitMEX is actually the Bitcoin Perpetual contract. So that's a contract with an indefinite time, so it never expires. So you can actually hold it forever, more or less. And in order to pay for it, you have to pay, or BitMEX came up with something that they call funding. And funding will be paid every 8 hours. So if you trade on BitMEX, most people will actually trade the Bitcoin Perpetual contract, and therefore you have to pay funding. And funding depends on how many people are actually short and how many people are long. And right now, a lot more people are long than short. So that's why long funding is 0.049. Usually, if it's almost even, so if half of the people are long and half of the people are short, funding is around 0.01. But right now, it's way higher. And the reason for it is that a lot of people are currently long, that's why you have to pay a bit more every 8 hours. And the short funding is basically negative. So what that means is that right now longs are paying short. So if you are in a long position, you are paying every 8 hours 0.049%. And if you are in a short position, so if you think the price will go down, you are shorting, and then you are in a short position, and then you actually receive 0.049% of your position. So you can actually just make money with being into a position and without selling or anything, and just by getting the funding. And as I said, funding will be paid every 8 hours. So I will move that screen here away. Funding will be paid every 8 hours. And you only pay if funding is up. So right now, the next funding will be in 4 hours, 17 minutes. So if you are entering a position now and you sell it in a few minutes or in like 1 or 2 hours, you don't pay any funding, because funding is paid fixed every 8 hours. And only if you are in a position at that time, you're going to pay funding. Yeah. And besides funding, you also have to pay in order to get into a position or to leave a position. So if we look on trade here, you can actually do a limit order or a market order. A market order will be executed immediately, and the limit order will be executed with a fixed price. So let's say the current price is 9,346, and I only want to buy Bitcoin if it goes to 9,200 US dollar, and then I could say buy long, and then I would actually make something that is called maker fee, because my order won't be executed immediately, but it will be executed once the price is reached. If I do a market order, so if I go here to market order, my order will be executed immediately, and therefore I have to pay higher fees. So for a market order, I actually have to pay the taker fee, which is 0.075% of my position. And it's the same for Ethereum. And if you do a limit order that won't be executed immediately, you only pay the maker fee, and that's currently negative. So you actually receive money when you do a limit order that is not executed immediately. So imagine you're doing with positive funding here, you can actually receive money by just opening up a position and being short. However, you lose money if the price goes down. So it's not that much money you are making here with the maker fee and the short funding. So keep that in mind. But that's basically the fees you have to pay for the contracts. We see it for the other contracts as well. You get a bit more. For example, if you do EOS, you receive a bit more maker fee, and the taker fee is also a bit higher. Yeah, and that's basically the most important things you need to know about the fees on BitMEX. You actually pay when you open, or you receive money when you open a position, depending if you're a maker or taker fee, and you pay funding if you're in a perpetual contracts, what most people are trading. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the comments down below. And if you don't have an account yet, feel free to open one with my link and save 10% of the trading.